Well, as per my agreement with Paparina, I am today going to be reviewing Robo Vampire. But, although I do keep my promises, I am a sore loser. So while I did say that I would be doing a review of Robo Vampire, I didn't say it would be a junkyard review. Enjoy. Ah, Godfrey Ho, how you torment and delight us all. He brought us Pierre Kirby, we can all thank him for that, but he also brought us Robo Vampire. In one of his rare, non-ninja outings, Robo Vampire still follows Ho's tried-and-true formula of splicing his own footage in with scenes from other unreleased Hong Kong films. In some of his movies, you might not even notice that you're watching two different films in one, mostly because neither film makes sense. But in Robo Vampire, it's pretty blatant. The film follows an organization of anti-drug agents trying to stop an organization of drug smugglers. As far as I can tell, both sides have two teams. Agent Team A uses stealth, strategy, and a network of informants to fight Smuggler Team A, who use kidnapping, torture, and guerrilla tactics. Agent Team B uses a paper-plate armored RoboCop to fight Smuggler Team B, who use hopping Chinese vampires. Yep, hopping Chinese vampires. Christ, I know these guys are based in actual folklore, but like Jennifer Lopez's romantic comedy lead, some things just don't belong on screen. Anyway, the film basically starts with this drug-dealing wizard showing off his super vampire to a couple of other dealers. Unfortunately for him, the floor show is interrupted by Christine the Ghost, Peter the super vampire gorilla's dead fiancée. At first, she tries to kill the wizard for turning her lover into a monster, but then offers to work for him so she and Count Bobo here can be together. Say what you will about the character, but if you find a woman who still wants to marry you after you've turned into a blood-sucking gorilla, you hold on to her. Soon the film's hero, Tom, gets killed by the vampires when he tries to arrest the wizard.
Since Tom's dead, I want to make use of his body to create an android-like robot, Mr. Glenn. I would appreciate your approving my application.
Are you assured of success?
Mm-hmm.
All right, your application's approved.
The government's two stages of grief: acceptance and mad science. And just look at this. They're using a sparkler to weld their robot. In a later scene, we even see the nurse having trouble getting it to light. Anyway, they test out Robo Warrior, and he proves himself to have unmatchable fighting power. Of course, since the only two guys they sent against him couldn't stop an 80-year-old from shoplifting from a Walgreens, that's not saying much. And as you may have noticed, this is not a film about a Robo Vampire. It's a film about a Robo Warrior and a super vampire. You can't just mix the names of the protagonist and the antagonist to make a title. That's like if they called The Matrix a Neo Smith. Next, we're introduced to Team A through a trademark Godfrey Ho transition scene. Two guys in obviously different rooms being shot by two obviously different cameras having a conversation. I'll be charitable and assume they're having a video conference. In 1988. Now, the A-Team parts of this are all about humans fighting humans, which isn't nearly as compelling as robots fighting vampires. So I thought I'd just skim through their scenes and tell you what I learned from them. First, women's hair changes color when they jump through windows. Second, Chinese water torture starts working in about 10 minutes. Third, 4 minutes is too long for a scene of a man walking menacingly towards a woman he intends to rape. Fourth, never try to invade enemy territory in a canoe. Fifth, when a woman berates you for your mindless brutality, she's actually telling you that she likes you. Sixth, a scene where an entire village is hung upside down on inverted crosses looks good on paper, but will only result in comedy. Seventh, when confronted by a nearly invulnerable opponent, try smearing ketchup on his face. With that out of the way, let's get to the real story. Robo finally gets sent out into the field and soon manages to drive off the super vampire. However, when he later gets ambushed by vampires while patrolling an empty beach, he's distracted long enough for Wizard's henchmen to blow him up with a bazooka. Okay, seriously, if these drug runners had access to bazookas, why did they need to employ vampires? Anyway, they take what's left of him back to the lab.
I'm afraid he's short-circuited.
and Kennedy died of a hangnail. Well, they get Robo back on his feet, and we come to a scene of Super Vampire and the Lady Ghost, who start to, God. Look, if I wanted to see a deathly pale woman and a gorilla get uncomfortably intimate, I'd just watch the King Kong remake, thank you very much. Fortunately, before the scene can go too far, Robo interrupts them. The three fight for a while, with some admittedly entertaining wire foo, but soon Vampire and Ghost decide the mood is gone and head back to their bottle. Wish I could say that whole sequence wasn't oddly familiar. Anyway, after this scene, the movie spends more than 10 uninterrupted minutes with the A-Team. They finally blow up the enemy's base, which I guess destroys all the drugs ever. Back to Team B, Robo finally confronts the bad guys.
Drop your weapons in 15 seconds.
That's his voice? What, did they get Truman Capote to dub his lines? Anyway, Robo and Super Vampire go at it again, with the fight spilling out into the city, where you get to see a few very confused extras. Meanwhile, the Ghost decides to turn on the Wizard, and they kung fu fight. Okay, I can't show you this scene, but for some reason, Christine rips off her top and throws it at the Wizard. He smears something on her chest, and she goes down. Wizard sends out more vampires, Robo defeats them, Ghost comes back and smears ketchup on the Wizard's face, and Robo sets Super Vampire on fire. And the movie ends. Did the Ghost and the Gorilla find peace? What happened to the A-Team? What did Robo do now that he's won the war on drugs? Who knows and who cares? I can't hate this movie. The acting was hilarious, the action was actually pretty good, and the director's attempts to make the two movies mesh was adorable. And while they were not the most compelling vampires on the silver screen, at least they didn't glitter.
Oh, fuck.